Hi, welcome to my video on solving quadratic inequalities part 2. Part 2 has to deal with when the quadratic is not factored. Let's see. If not factored, follow these steps. Place all terms to the left side in descending order and 0 on the right. If the leading term of x squared is negative, multiply by -1 to change to positive and change the inequality. Factor the left side and follow the previous steps in video 1 in this unit. Let's do some examples. Solve each. So we have to factor the trinomial here, and that is to find out what values will give you 0 for your solving for the roots or the x-intercepts. X squared is x and x. Factors of 15 is 1 times 15 or 5 times 3. And 5 times 3 gives you 2, so it's 5 and 3. Product is -15, sum is -2, so it's a -5, +3. Multiply, -15. Add, -5 and 3, 2. So x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 3 is equal to 0. X is 5, or x is -3. Now we have a number line. So we'll draw a number line now as we did in the first video. And we have a 5, and we have a -3. So we'll put some numbers to the right of 5. We'll take a 6. In between -3 and 5 we have a 0. And to the left of -3 we'll take a -4. So let's plug a -4 into the expression. And so we get a -4 minus 5, -4 plus 3. That's a negative, and that's a negative. So we get a positive number. So all numbers to the left of -3 will be positive when substituted in this expression. And now we have a 0, so we'll take x to be 0, and we'll put 0 in the place of x. Put 0 in the place of x. And that gives us a negative and a positive, which is a negative. So the in between -3 and 5 is negative. And now we'll take x to be 6. 6 minus 5 and 6 plus 3. And 6 minus 5 is positive. 6 plus 3 is positive. So it'll give us a positive. So all numbers greater than 5 will be positive when you sub it into this expression. And all numbers greater than 5 will make this expression true. So we have a greater than. A greater than is positive. And as we said, greater than is on the outside, so it's above 5 and less than -3. So x is less than -3, or x is greater than 5. Notice there's no equal sign. So the interval here starts at -3, open, going towards -infinity. So notice it starts at -3, goes down, is not equal to, so it's just a regular bar, or 5 going to +infinity. So there's the answers. This is into notation, interval. This is as the inequality. B, again, we have to move all terms to the left side. Done. 4x becomes negative when you move it to the left. We factor x outside of x minus 4 because x is the GCF. So x equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals 4. So on the number line, we have a 0 and a 4, so 0 here, 4 here. So we take a number to the right of 4, which is 5. In between, we'll take a 2. And less than 0, we'll take a negative 1. So let's sub a negative 1 in. And negative 1, we're going to sub in the expression. So we get negative 1 minus 4. So that's a negative. Negative 1, negative 4 is negative 5, which is negative. So that becomes a positive. Now we'll take x to be 2. 2 is in between 0 and 4. So we'll put a 2 in. So we get 2 and 2 minus 4. That's a positive. That's a negative. So it's a positive times a negative is a negative. And we'll put 5 in the expression. So we got 5. 5 minus 4. 5 is positive. 5 minus 4 is plus 1, so it's positive. So the product is positive. And we take the inequality. It says that the inequality is less than or equal to 0. So less than equal to is going to be less than is a negative. So the negative number is in between. Again, less than is in between. So it's 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5. Notice it's less than equal to. And that's in between. So it's bar, square bracket, 0, comma, 5, square bracket. So either way you want to describe it could be either one of these two. So that means all the numbers between 0 and 5, including 0 and 5, will make this inequality true. Let's move all the numbers C. We have negative x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals greater than or equal to 0. 4 moved over to become a plus. Oh, I almost made an error. So that's negative and that's positive. Moved over to become plus. Now I multiply by negative 1 because I like to have a leading term as positive. And when the leading term is positive, when the leading term is positive for an inequality, that means the greater than will be on the outsides, above and below, and less than will be in between. And notice when I multiply by negative 1, I change the greater than to a less than. So this is factorable. X. Factors of 4 to give me 3, 4 and 1. Product is negative 4. Sum is negative 3, so it's a negative 4 plus 1. And we have x minus 4 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X is 4, or x is negative 1. So 4 here, negative 1 is on the left. Take a number to the right of 4, in between negative 1 and 4 is 0, and a negative 2. So let's plug in. Let's go down right here, and no, we'll go right here. X is, we need negative 2 first. So we got a negative 2, negative 4. We're putting negative 2 in place of x. Negative 2 plus 1. That's a negative number. That's a negative number. And that gives us a plus. X is 0. Put 0 in. And I get a negative and a positive, which is a negative number. And we'll put x equals 5 in. 5 minus 4. 5 plus 1. That gives us a plus. That gives us a plus, which is a plus. So all numbers greater than 4 is plus. All numbers in between negative 1 and 4 is negative. All numbers less than negative 1 is positive when you sub them into this inequality to make it true. And the solution, we have the inequality when we're solved it with a positive. is less than equal to, and less than equal to is in between, and less than is a negative number. So spell negative correctly. So we have to have in between. Again, less than is in between, greater than is on the outsides. So we have negative 1, and this inequality is less than equal to. Less than equal to x, less than or equal to 4. And the interval is, because it's equal to, is a square bracket, 4 square bracket. And again, these numbers in between negative 1 and 4 and including negative 1 and 4 will make this inequality true. Okay. Now, pause the video and see if you can work each of these out. Okay, here we go. It's already all the terms are on the left side, so let's factor. And notice I have the difference of two squares. I got x and x. Factors of 9 are 3 and 3 with a plus minus. Notice that's the difference of two squares, x squared minus 3 squares. So I got x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, x is negative 3, or x is 3. And draw a number line, we got a negative 3, and we have a 3. Numbers greater than 3 would be a 4, and between negative 3 and 4 would be 0. To the left of negative 3 would be negative 4. So let's take x to be negative 4. Sub into the expression here, negative 4 plus 3, and a negative 4 minus 3. Negative 4 and 3 is negative. Negative 4 and negative 3 is negative. So that's a positive. Now we'll take 0, which is in between, and plug 0 in, or sub 0 in, I should say. Put 0 in, I get a plus. Put 0 in, I get a minus. So that's a negative. Negative in between. Now I'll sub in 4. So 4 plus 3, 4 minus 3. That's a plus, and that's a plus. Product is positive. And we have less than. Less than is negative. And also, when we have a less than, we're in between. Between. I'm going to say between, because if we had a greater than, it would be positive, but it would be on the outsides. So we're in between. So the answer is negative 3 less than x less than 3, because negative 3 and 3 are the two numbers. There's no equal sign. We just have a less than in our equality, so less than goes here. So that's a round bar, comma, 3. So that means that the negative 3 and the 3 are not included. Again, pause your video and work the second one out. So we have all terms to the left side. 7 becomes negative, 7x becomes negative 7x, 10 becomes negative 10. We have a negative leading term, so multiply by negative 1. And because we multiply by negative, the less than changes to a greater than. And now we factor x. Product is negative 10, sum is 7. What's the factors of 10 to give you 7? 5 and 2. Product is positive, sum is positive, so it's 2 pluses. And so x plus 5 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. There's a plus there. X is negative 5, or x is negative 2. That's the two numbers on the number line. Negative 5 is on the left. Negative 2 is on the right. Take a number greater than negative 2. I'm going to take the 0. In between, I take negative 3. To the left of negative 5, I take negative 6. So we'll sub in negative 6 in the expression here. So negative 6 plus 5, negative 6 plus 2. That's a negative number. That's a negative number, which is positive. And we have x is, we got a negative 3 plus 5, negative 3 plus 2. That's a positive, and that's a negative. Product is negative. Notice, well, I'll explain now in a minute. We have 0 on the right, so we put a 0 in. So put a 0 in here. 0 plus 5, 0 here. 0 plus 2, that's a plus, and that's a plus, which gives us a plus. And we need x's, says the inequality is greater than equal to. So I got greater than equal to. Greater than equal to is the positive, and positive is on the outsides. And so that means I have x is less than, I got less than equal to. Less than equal to negative 5, or x is greater than or equal to negative 2. And so the inequality, equal sign is a square bracket, negative 5 going to negative infinity, and square bracket because of the equal sign going to positive infinity. Notice this is open here and open here because it keeps on going, but it's, the negative 5 is included. And just notice, because again because I keep this positive right here all the time, that means greater than will be always on the outsides, and less than's will always be on the inside. Again, when this inequality, when you have a positive leading term, it'll always be greater than's is on the outsides of the two numbers, and less than is on the inside of the two numbers, if you have a positive leading term. And one more to do, number 3, solve. So I'll move the 3x over and make it positive. 7 is okay. Move the 6 over and make it negative. Now I have to factor. This time 3 is not a GCF, so the product is 3 times negative 6, which is negative 18. And the sum is in the middle, which is negative 7. So what's the factors of 18 to give 7? So 18 is 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. So I see a 2 times 9. Because the product is negative, it would be a plus and a minus. So I need a plus 2 and a minus 9. So I take those two numbers, and I take the plus 2, put an x with it, take the minus 9 and put an x with it. Notice that you put an x because these two will add to give you a negative 7. And x is the GCF, so I'm doing grouping now. I'll take these two and then these two. Take the x out, so I get 3x plus 2. That's a negative, so I'll take the, whatever this sign is, this has to be here. GCF is 3, so negative 9x divided by negative 3 is 3x. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is plus 2. So that's 3x plus 2 times x minus 3. Notice that 3x plus 2 is common. You take it out, you get an x. Take it out, you get minus 3. So that means 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. 3x equals negative 2. Divide by 3. X is negative 2 over 3. And x is 3. So we take two numbers and put them on the number line. 3 is over here. Negative 2/3 is here. And take a number larger than 3 is 4. Number between negative 2/3 of 3 is 0, and a number to the left of negative 2/3 is a negative 1. So let's plug in x equals negative 1 into this expression. So here we go. 3, negative 1 plus 2, and put a negative 1 in, negative 1 minus 3. So that gives me negative 3 plus 2 is negative, and negative 1, negative 3 is negative, so that's a positive. And again, I repeat, because this coefficient here is positive, the less than will always be in between. The less than is going to be the negative. So now I'm going to try 0, but if you see the pattern, then you just do what I'm doing, and you don't have to do all this. You just know that that's plus, plus, that'll be the minus. So that's a plus, that's a minus. So the 0 gives you negative, and x is 4, and we put 3 times 4 plus 2, 4 minus 3. 12 plus 2 is 14, which is positive. 4 minus 3 is 1, which is positive. So that's a positive. And again, we have the inequality is a less than. So less than equal to is the negative, and the negative is between. And between is negative 2/3 less than equal to, x less than or equal to 3. And it's a square bracket, 2/3, comma, 3, with a square bracket. Remember, less than equal to is in between. And that's a review of solving inequalities. Again, the more you do, the better you get. So notice I have the leading term positive. Therefore, less than equal to will be in between, because that's where the negative will be. Greater than equal to will be above, and below will be with an or. If you like my video, click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.